Hello and welcome back to the channel. We're so glad to have you here today. Today, we're going to be making two very simple farms. We're going to be making a cow breeder farm, and this really is a simple farm that's going to help us just breed cows all in a 2 block area, and then have a kill chamber underneath that's going to help us collect all the drops. It can be really difficult to run through a area that's just fenced in and try to make sure you didn't hit the wrong cow or killed too many cows or something like that. And so I wanted to get a good leather source going, especially here near the sugarcane farm, that we can utilize to go ahead and also get leather and paper, so that we can make books. And I wanted that to be a little bit closer to the villager trading hall and iron farm, because we're going to eventually need a lot of books to go ahead and get started with the trading process. And then the other thing we really need for the villager trading hall is a ton of beds. So I want to create a simple wool farm that we can utilize to go ahead and help us to make all this wool that we'll need for the beds. So just to give you an example, I'll need to put about 23 beds over just by the villager breeder. And then I'll need to put another 40 beds around the villager trading hall. So that's 63 beds right there already that we need. This is not including what we'll need as far as beds are concerned for the nether when we eventually go get ancient debris and we'll use exploding beds. So we need a ton of wool. And I know what you're thinking. You just want to see this villager trading hall, and I do too. And I'm ready for the armor and the silk touch and all the great things that you can get from enchants from the villager trading hall. But all of this is just prerequisites to trying to get all that we need for this villager trading hall, so that when we do get in there, we're not like, oh, I'm missing a stack of coal that I need to go ahead and get the armor that I want from the villager trading hall. So I'm doing all the prerequisites to go ahead and get ready for the villager trading hall that we need. And then once we get all this stuff, we'll go ahead and build a villager breeder, and then we will get a villager trading hall outline going, and we'll probably start with just a simple iron farm, and then we'll work towards getting the correct trades for the trading hall. I'm really excited about this. One of these is just my own simple design, and it's a simple cow farm, and so I'm definitely excited about that. And then the sheep farm will go, or the wool farm will go ahead and get built as well. All right, let's jump right into this. So for the cow farm, it's actually going to be really simple. So you want to build a little 2x2 region, and actually let's build up a little bit more so we're still within that chunk border like I just talked about. So we're going to build like a 2x2 region in here, and then we're going to build that and that right there, and we're going to go up by 3 blocks on all the sides. So right there, perfect. And then we're going to add a slab on each of these. The reason we're going to add the slab is because we're going to go ahead and add in a glass pane. And that glass pane needs to be in a space where it won't be attached to the side blocks. And so using a slab in this region will actually help with that. And now, because they are on a slab, I'm not going to be able to get up into the next block without the scaffolding. So that's where the scaffolding comes in, super helpful. And we're going to build this up by 2, and then we are going to go ahead and put slabs on the top of all of these as well. And I'll show you why in just a minute. I'm actually going to go ahead and now take out this block right here, and I'm going to put in a dispenser. This dispenser is going to eventually be filled with a water bucket, and that water bucket is going to allow the cows to kind of be pushed to the top of this region, the top of these slabs right here, and that will cause it to be easier to breed them up. And then once they're bred up, the baby cows won't be able to stand on this glass pane right here. So all the adult cows will be stuck up in this top region, but the bottom region, the baby cows will fall to, and they'll be stuck in there. Then once they grow to full mature cows, we'll be able to go ahead and kill them and gather and collect the leather and the cooked beef if we have this looting with fire aspect sword, which we do. So that way we can get all the good resources that we need from them for this farm. So I'm going to also do this. I'm going to take out this block right here, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add in a dispenser. That just kind of pushes all the items forward just slightly, so that way we can get all the items into the actual collection system, and then we will go ahead and be finished with that part. Then it's just going to be luring the cows really into this region right here, and then this will be the little kill chamber right here. And this is so the baby cows can't get out of there. It's really that simple. Then we'll just come over here and craft 2 iron buckets so that we can gather the water. I actually have 1 water bucket right here, so that works in my favor. And then we'll get 1 more water bucket, and then we will go ahead and be good to go for this farm. And then it'll just be luring the cows into the farm, which is really, really simple. We'll just use some dirt blocks and get them up into place. Let me go ahead and place this water bucket right into here, and I'm just going to drop that in the dispenser right here. I'm going to drop this water bucket into this dispenser right here. I'm going to go ahead and make a button for each one of these right over here. Oops. I need some spruce. And then we'll just go ahead and make 2 buttons. We might go ahead and redstone this later on, but for now, it's just a simple system that we're trying to make here, so no need to be complicated. Alright, we're actually going to go ahead and replace this with a chest sorting system. So let's go ahead and block out this last block right here. We've got most of the cows in place. I think that should be good for what we need. We're going to go ahead and take out this block of dirt right here, this block of dirt right here. Perfect. And then we're going to go ahead and place 2 double chests in its place. So let's go ahead and get that made. And then we will have to get a hopper. I should have made 1 more chest. That's fine. We'll make 1 more. Alright, and then we'll go ahead and get a hopper, and that'll push all the items into the storage system that we're going to be having right here. And it's a really simple, just double chest into the hopper, and then we'll come and place the hopper. So make sure we get it right into that double chest. So let's go ahead and place the hopper right here. Perfect. And we know that that's in place because of our directional hoppers, and so that's good to go. We'll go ahead and close that back up. Close this back up on the back here. And then we'll go ahead and replace this front block actually with a glass block over here. Let me grab that. I have a green one. Let's go ahead and replace that with a glass block, so that way we can still open the chest. If it was a spruce block, we couldn't open the chest. And now that's all that's done, all we really need to do is knock out that dirt and close the farm back up, and we should be all set to go. And Now, I did go ahead and shut off the passive mob sounds just for this video because they were getting a little bit annoying hearing all those cow sounds, and I wanted to quickly show you how this works. It's really just a simple farm. You see you've got 3 blocks right here. You've got a slab right here so the baby cows don't get out, but you can also use your sword for this kill chamber down here. Over here, you've got a dispenser with a water bucket inside. And that dispenser is, if you kill a cow back there, all the drops will just drop right there. You could also just put a hopper in here and have it pointing towards the chest, or the dispenser where you have water pushing over into that. It was actually a little bit cheaper for me to go ahead and build the dispenser, and I had all the resources on hand, so I went with that. There's just a little button that you can use to turn that on and off. You don't want to turn it on when you're killing the cows if you have fire aspect, because it'll put the fire out of them, and then you'll get raw beef instead of cooked beef. And I prefer the cooked beef, so that way I don't have to stick it through the furnace. Then you've got another layer of slabs up here. That's to basically prevent the glass panes that you can kind of see in that corner over there from dropping the baby cows, but not dropping the fully grown cows. But if you were to put a solid block, then the baby cows wouldn't be able to drop down to the bottom kill chamber. Then if you come up here, what I typically do is I have a dispenser right here, and I press this button to come up to the top. And then when you come up to the top, this just makes it a little bit easier to breed the cows because they're both bouncing up and down. Whereas over there, you might have hit a cow, you might not have hit a cow. This way is a little bit easier because you can actually see them and keep breeding them up as much as possible while they're going up and down. Then you go ahead and drop them down in here, and then they'll drop the baby cows. You do have to be careful on this top, because if you fall in, you're in big trouble. Basically, all those cows are gonna fall out of this chamber right here because you're gonna have to get out, and when you get out, you leave yourself an option for pushing the cows out. And because there's so many stuffed in there, they will literally just go flying everywhere, all over, and you'll have cows everywhere as soon as one little opening opens up in this. And then you'll have to rebreed and get some more cows in here, and it's just a big hassle. So just really be careful, either shift right clicking or shifting while you're up here so you make sure you're crouching so that you don't fall in, or just even putting some iron blocks or glass panes up around here so you don't fall into the chamber. And then the babies will fall, and then once they grow to full-blown, you can either breed or feed them so they can grow to full-blown, but really I honestly just prefer to let them grow, especially since they are going to be in this AFK area, so I'll breed them up, a ton of them, maybe do that 2 or 3 times, and then I will use the kill chamber to go ahead and kill them. Now, I did also want to mention, this was just from 3 times of breeding. This is all the supplies that we've gotten so far. And so that's a really good resource to have. Now we have all this cooked beef that'll be a huge help with our food saturation, and then the leather that we can use for the book. So overall, this is just a really simple way to do it. I'm sure you could do a better job of developing a kill chamber back here, and I could put lava in this thing, but then I would have to switch out the wood blocks, and I kind of got an aesthetic going here. And then I also just don't I like the looting 3 fire aspect a lot better. I just feel like it's much more efficient for this farm. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell. It's just really simple. There's nothing to it that's really fancy. I just find it's a lot easier to breed the cows this method rather than doing the old school in the fence method. I did learn my lesson from the first time I I brought in all the cows, and that it was really extremely difficult to bring them from all the way over there from our original farm into the cow farm itself. So I did decide to go ahead and bring them over into this little pen right here. I just brought in 2 sheep, and I went ahead and started breeding them up here. Now, I did want to do something kind of fun in that I wanted to get the different colors going for the wool farm over here. So I could have all 16 different colored sheep. And so I wanted to do 2 of every type of sheep and put them up in the wool farm so that I can get more than just white wool, but I could actually get cyan or green or brown or pink or whatever color really that I wanted to. And so what I've been doing is I made all these different dyes, and you can get flowers or ink squid ink or cactus or just different things or bone meal and turn that into white ink. So there's lots of different inks that you can get, and there's 16 different colors. And all you have to do once you have the dye in your hand is go ahead and right click it on the sheep that you want to color, and it will change the color of the sheep itself. So I've been doing all the little white sheep and changing them into different colored sheep. So that one's a gray one now, and that one's a gray one now. So now I have 2 of those. And so as I'm breeding these up, I'm actually going through and dyeing them. And so I can have 2 of every color. So I should have about 32 sheep in total when I'm ready to put them into the wool farm. This is just a fun way to have different colored beds too as an option. For if you wanted to put a cyan one because that goes best with your house, or you wanted to do a green one because apparently I've had everything look green throughout my world. And if that's what matches my house the best when we eventually build a house, then that's what I want to utilize. So that's what I'm doing right now, is just waiting impatiently for all of these sheep to breed up, and then once I have enough of them, I'll go ahead and dump them into the wool farm. So I'm working. And here is the sheep farm all completed. Now, I did have to go ahead and add some more redstone in at the top. I don't know if it's my glass block or what, but it wasn't reading it on these 2 side blocks. So I did go ahead and add that extra 2 layers of redstone dust to kind of make sure that it was kicking in all of these dispensers. You want to just keep really an eye on the durability of your shears, because eventually they will run out. As you can see, a lot of these are getting low, and so I did go ahead and refill some of this already, but it's so much wool. As you can tell from this bottom chest, this is just, a couple hours of sitting over here AFK while I'm waiting on these melons and sugarcane and all those other farms. And so this is just a little bit of time, and we were able to get all of this wool already. This is a huge resource, and it'll be super valuable as we get ready to build this farm. And yeah, you really don't have to do anything with this other than check the durability every once in a while and refill those shears, and that's going to be a whole lot easier once we get the iron farm going with the villager trading hall. So this is kind of plays off of each other. I need the wool for the beds, but then I need the iron for the shears, so they kind of are one big circle and help each other out. And we'll have more than enough beds for what we need for the server. We might even be able to use some of this iron to make, some of this wool to make some decorations and other things around the base, as it's good for texture and different things like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It runs itself. And as you can see, as the sheep come over here and they break the grass to refill their wool, the observers detect the wool broken, and then it sends a signal to the dispensers, and the dispensers will shear them, and then the wool will drop. The minecart with hopper down here at the bottom that's covered up will then pick it up, drop it into these hoppers, which will then push it into this chest right here. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to actually have to expand this chest system soon so I can keep getting wool from it so it keeps remaining valuable. But overall, that's the farm in a nutshell, and that's going to be super helpful as we get ready to build the villager trading hall. Well, That's going to be it for today's episode. I really appreciate you watching today's video. If you haven't already, hit that like button to let me know you enjoyed today's content. Leave a comment letting me know if you want some sort of future content or future farms in this area, and I'd love to look into building something for you. And as always, please hit that subscribe button. It'll go towards helping us build the channel, and hit that little notification bell so you never miss a future video. That's going to be it for today. We'll see you next time.